Hello guys, welcome to another video. And in this video, as you can see here, I have a sales dashboard. For every single click on any particular column that we press, we're going to see every single thing related to it. Can you see the way everything, filtered? Now we can see the sales by segment for only USA. You can see the most sold products in USA, and we can also see the trend of sales by month in USA. This particular project is definitely one you need to have in your portfolio as a data analyst. If you want to learn how to make this beautiful dashboard, you should definitely stick around. Now I've opened a new Power BI, and the data set we are using is Power BI's sample data set. So just come into here and click sample data sets. Then you're going to see load sample data set. Please click that. So we're going to let Power BI do its thing and connect. Now we can see the financial sample data set in Excel format, XLSX. You can just take a look at this right here and preview it. Then I'm just going to go ahead to load it. All right, guys, now we have our data set. As you can see, the sales, the cost of goods sold, the country, everything. If you want to see this properly, you can just come to the table view right here, and we can take a look at these things. Okay. Now we can see the segments, the country, the product, discount band, unit sold. I'm trying to work with a data set for visualization, to get insights. It is also important to understand your data. Understanding your data is a very important thing because you want to know what you want to analyze, right? If you've not taken time to look and study this data, you wouldn't even know that, oh, okay, we're going to remove the cost of goods sold, from the sales to get the profits, or you wouldn't know there's something like a gross sale here, or you wouldn't even know about the sales price. So it's always important to study your data set before going ahead with the visualization. Now, the next thing we're going to do is to create a measures table. So this measures table is where I am going to be writing all of my measures, just to keep it neat and in check. So I'm just going to click enter data here. So when I enter this data, I'm just going to name it measures table. So this is my measures table. I will load that. So guys, now that we have our data set and we have our measures, we're just going to, format this visual area. The next thing I'm going to do now is to change the settings. Okay, I'm just going to come here and change the canvas setting. I want my visual size to be a lot bigger because I have quite a number of things I want to put in. But this is the normal one that it comes with. But you can create your custom size, the custom size you want. As you can see, they've given us this size, and a custom one. So I'm just going to click this custom, and I'm going to input the pixel I want, which is 1130. I want the height a bit longer than that, and I want the width a bit bigger than that. So this is what I want. You can see how full this is right now. So this is the pixel we're going to be working with. The next thing we're going to do is to come to our insert button here, and then go to image. We're going to get the image we're going to use, and I'm just going to look for my image. This is it. I'm going to open it up, and can you see? So I'm just going to drag this and fit it in. All right. So what you can do at this point is just to come to the image, to the format, to the image, look at the scaling is at normal now. You can decide to do what? To fit it, and it's just going to fill your screen. All right. If you fill it as well, this is what happens. The gradient becomes smaller. So if you want your gradient to be smaller, you can as well do the filling, but I'm going to do the fitting. So it just fits our screen the way we want. We're going to start by writing out our title because we want to know exactly what we're working on, right? So we're just going to get a text box here and drag this text box up here because that's where we want to keep our title. And we're just going to write sales dashboard and make it transparent. Next thing we want to do is start working on our KPIs. So we're going to see what we're tracking and what we have in our data sets. So now we're just going to come here to shapes and let's insert a shape. The rounded rectangle is what we're going to be working with. And let's just format this. So what I'm going to do now is copy, Ctrl C and paste, Ctrl V. I'm going to have this in six places, all right? I've been able to get my KPI shapes. The next thing I want to do now is start writing our measures. Now we can see that we have some products here. We want to know how many products we have, how many distinct products we actually have, all right? So in order to do that, I'm just going to come here. For all your measures to be under this measures table, make sure you always click here, to before you write your quick measure. So now I want to know the number of products I have. So I'm just going to write number of products. And I'll put equals to, I'm going to say distinct count. I want to count the distinct number of products. As you can see, the financial table is here. So I'm just going to get number of products. All right. And now we have our first measure. So I'm just going to delete this. Okay, so now we have our number of products. We're just going to get a card so we can visualize that. So this card, you're going to shape it, make it tiny, so it has to just fit in here, however way you can do that. I'm making mine really small, so it fits. Okay, it has entered. So I'm just going to bring this here, so we can see we have six different products. Now let's quickly format that. I'm going to come to category label and reduce the label. I want to make it dark. I'm going to come to call out value and reduce the call out value a lot, like 26. Okay, let me leave it at 28. I'm going to come to call out value and increase it. Okay, so now I'm just going to work around this, make this big. Come to general and make this transparent so it blends well. Also, come back to the visual, forgot this, change this color, format this color to white because this is a blue color. This is a blue background. So white is going to pop more. As you can see, format this to white. All right, so now we have our first visual. Now we want to know the total sales. How much were they able to sell? All right, from January to for the 1 year, I guess from January, yeah. So let's do that. So for our total sales, we're also going to create another measure. Just click new measure here. And we're going to write total sales equals to, it's quite easy. Just write the sum because we want to know the sum of the total sales column, which is sales. All right. And close the brackets. Okay, now we have our total sales. So what I'm just going to do here is to copy and paste this particular KPI card. So I will fill them in all these empty boxes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm just going to drag them and put them in here. So you should do that as well. All right, guys, I'm done. So now we're in the second KPI and we just got the total sales. So all I'm going to do is bring this total sales down here, and we can see we sold 118.73 million, during this whole time. Now, this company is in the US, so you want to format the currency. Now, to do that, you just click this and come here to choose the dollar sign. All right, now we have the dollar sign there. We're going to go on to the next KPI. We want to check for the total cost on goods sold. As you can see, we have this particular column here, which is the cost on goods sold. So we want to check the total because this is actually important for us to get our profit. So we're going to write the same measure we wrote for the total sales. So come here and hit your measure. You can also click these 3 dots and you will see new measure. So you can just click on new measure as well. It's the same thing. So we'll come here and we'll just write total COGS, which is total cost on goods sold, equals to sum total cost on goods sold. You close the brackets and you hit enter. Now we're just going to bring that into the KPI card, and we can see we have 101.83 million is the total cost on goods sold. All right, we're going to format this with the dollar sign, dollar currency sign, and there we have it. The next thing we want to know is we want to get the profits, okay? Because your visualization should be a story. You want your stakeholders to say, okay, this is the products I have. This is the total sales I have made from this product. This is the cost on goods sold. Now, what is my profit? I actually want to know my profit, okay? So we're just going to come here. We have the profit already. We're going to come here and just create a new measure and say what is the sum of profit. So we're just going to write total profit equals to sum of profits. Okay, and hit enter. Now when we bring this in here, we can see the amount they made during that time. So we're just going to format this with the currency sign, and they have made 16.89 million. Right, guys, now we want to know the sum of discount because as you can see here, we have discounts. And typically this discount is already under the total cost on goods sold because it's all part of the cost. So we're just going to get another measure and do the same thing we've done, which is total discounts. We are going to put equals to sum of discounts. All right. And we're going to hit enter. So we're just going to drag this here, and we can see the discount is 9.2 million. Format with the dollar sign, and we can have it here. So the last thing we want to do is we want to know the most sold product. So for that, we're just going to so for that, we're just going to get to a new measure. And I'm just going to paste my measure here. So my measure says most goods sold. And what I'm getting is the first non-blank, the top one value of the financial product. Now we can see that we have quite a number of financial products. We have Veto, we have let me just go to the table view so we can see this. Now you can see our products. We have Amarilla, we have Carretera, we have Montana, we have Paseo, we have Velo, and we have VTT. Now we want to know the most sold from all of these. Okay, so that's why we're getting the first non-blank. We're getting the first non-blank, the top one. This top one means like the highest value of this product total sale. Now, the product that sells the most or that sold the most, all right? The product that sold the most is what we are trying to get as the total sale. So this is a DAX measure for that. But here you're just going to write what? S. You're going to make it total sales because that is what we have in our measure. Let's enter. And now we have our most sold product. So we're just going to bring this in here. And we can see Paseo is our most sold product. The next thing we want to do now is that we want to calculate our profits for each single year. Let's go to the table view so you would understand what I'm talking about. So if we go to date, we'll say that our date spans from 2013. Our data set spans from 2013 to 2014. All right, so let's just even write that. September 2013 to December 2014. Let's get a text and write that so we're done with that. Now we want to write a DAX measure. We want to know what the profit was in 2014 and the sales in 2014. So for that, we're going to get a DAX measure. And we're just going to write total. Let's start with profit. Total profit 2013 is equals to, now we're going to use the calculate function so that we can write an expression and filter it by that expression. So let's just write calculate. Now your calculate function says you write an expression and you filter. Okay, so our expression is we want to get the sum of the profit, right? Sum of profits, financial profits. Okay, this is it. Close the column and use the comma. And in this, what are we looking for in this profit? We want to calculate the profit that falls within only 2023. Okay, the profit that falls within only 2013, rather, within only 2013. We don't want it to calculate all of the profits. We only want it to calculate the profit where the date says in 2013. So that is what we are looking at. That is what we are filtering by. We're going to go to the year because we have the date here, and this is the year. So we're going to filter by this. We're just going to say equals to date. So we can see 4 million naira was made, $4 million rather was made as profit in 2013. So if we format this using the dollar sign, we can see it in decimal place. Okay, right. So this is 3.88 million that was made as profit in 2013. So now we're going to do the same thing for 2014. All you need to do is just to Control A, copy all, Control C, Control A is to select all, and Control C is to copy all. So we're going to come back to our measures table, create a new measure, and paste that we have copied. Now, we're just going to change this to 2014 because we also want to get the total profit for 2014. This is the same thing. Everything stays the same. We're just going to change what we are filtering, enter. Okay, so let's take a look at what 2014 has. 13.02 million. That is a lot for 2014. But if you also take a look at the date, you can see where 2013 started at, which is at the last quarter, September. And 2014 had like a whole year. So it makes sense. Okay. So the next thing we want to do is we want to get the total sales for 2013 and total profit and total sales for 2013. Okay, so we can also copy what we have as well. You can copy this, go to measures table, click on new measure. So now I'm just going to change this profit to sales. So total sales 2013. I'm going to change my column from profit to financial sales, and that is about it. I'm looking for the sales in 2013, in the year 2013. So I'm going to hit enter. Now I have my total sales for 2013. Let's take a look at that. Look at how much we sold in 2013 and made 3 million naira profit. $3 million profit. All right. The next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to copy this, Control A, Control C, and go to this measures table, create a new measure. I'm going to paste it, and I'm just going to change the date to 2014 because I want to see everything by the year 2014. I'm going to hit enter, and we would see how much we have sold in the year 2014. We sold $92 million in 2014 and made like 26 million naira gain or so. Okay, so that is it about these measures now. The next thing we're going to do is bring in, let me just remove this. So the next thing we're going to do is to insert, go to your insert button and come to shape. We're going to get this rounded rectangle. It always looks so beautiful for visuals. So just going to get it, and I'm going to format one so you can see. I want this white. I'm going to turn off the border color, and I'm going to make the shape, the rounded rectangle, a lot smaller. So let's see what 9 looks like. Okay, this is not bad. So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to copy this and paste it in 4 different places. All right, so you should do that as well. So I've placed the 4 things I have. Now, the next thing I want to do is to align it because you might have issues having the same spacing. All right, so all you need to do is to press your control button and just hold this, click this, click this, click this. You go to your format, you go to your align, and you see distribute horizontally, and you get the same spacing for everything. Okay. The next thing I want to do, so now as you can see, I have brought this up here because I want the KPI cards to be resting on this particular visual where we're going to be putting our pie chart. Okay, this makes the design fine and also give space for other visuals that we want to do. Now, what we are going to do at this point is to click hold your control button and click every single thing in this area. Once you click the KPI, you click the other parts, you click the rounded box, you click your KPI card and the rounded box. Okay, so just keep doing that. Okay, now that we've clicked everything, just go to your format button and go to bring forward and bring to front. Now you can see it is resting right in front of these KPI cards, which is what we wanted to get. We want to visualize our profit and our sales by quarter. We're going to be using a donut chart to visualize what our profit and our sales were in each quarter. In order to do that, we have to go to the transform data part in order to get our quarter. We can see we have month name already, right? So let us go get our quarter and our quarter name. So let's go to our transform data. So we're just going to go to the date. Let's look for the date. Okay, we have the dates right now. So you're just going to hit on the date, go to add column. We're going to come here and get our quarter of the year. Now we can see we have quarter. The next thing we want to do is to go back to the date. Now we're going to go get a custom column. In this custom, we're just going to name this quarter name, because we want to make it have either Q1 or Q2, because right now it's having just 1, 2, 3. Stakeholders might not really understand that as that. So we want to give it an initial per se. Okay, so now to do that, we're just going to come here and use your double quotes to write Q. So if you want your quarter as QT, you can also leave it like that. If you want it as QR, QU, whatever it is you want to write it as, you're free to do that. I'm going to write mine as Q. I'm just going to use this and I'm going to get the quarter number, which we have just put here. And this is it. I'm going to click on it and hit insert. Okay, so while doing this is not going to work if I click OK, because this is a text and this is a number, and text and number cannot concatenate. So what we need to do is to get the text from this number so that these two can work together. Okay, so in order to do that, we're just going to write the function. We're going to call the function text.from, and we're just going to use a bracket for that, and then we can hit OK. So now we have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, and all of that. So we're good to go. The next thing we're going to do is to go to home, click close and apply, and just wait for these to come into our data sets. That was quick. All right, we have this right now in our data set. As we can see quarter, we can see quarter name. Okay, so if you want to see anything, if you want to see it by week, you can also go back there and do the same thing. If you want to see it by day, you can also do the same thing. Now we're going to get our donut chart and we're just going to fix it in here. All right, the next thing we're going to do now is to get our total sales for 2013. We want to see sales first, then the profit, right? Because that is how we want the data story to go. So we're just going to get our total sales for 2014. And we're going to want to see it by what? By quarter. So this is it. All right, so we can see what happens in the third quarter. Okay, you know what? Let's just format this. In the third quarter, we sold 4.48 million, and in the fourth quarter, we sold 21.93 million. Okay, let us format this. So we're just going to go to format your visual. I'm going to turn off this legend so this thing becomes bigger. Okay, I'm going to go to my data labels. I want to see my category and my value. All right, since I've turned on the legend, I want to as well see the category. Now we can see quarter 4, 21 points. I'm going to increase the font size. Okay, this is good. The next thing I want to do is change the color of the slices. All right, so I'm just going to come here and I have the hex code for my color. This is the color I want. So you can copy the hex code as well. Then come to quarter 3 and use the blue we used. Now, this is how I want it. So the next thing we're going to format is our title. So we're just going to put this as 2013 sales. You know, we started with this gangster thing. Okay, so we're just going to continue. 2013 sales by quarter. So we're going to increase this font size a bit. And we're going to align it in the middle. All right. So now we have seen our sales by quarter. The one other thing we're going to do is to go back to your visuals. You're going to see this spacing. Come under here, and we're going to reduce the inner size of the spacing. Okay, let's just leave it at 75. Now, this inner space will give us the chance to put our card in there to see the value. Let me just show you people what I mean. Now we've done the inner spacing. We're just going to copy and paste this because this is what we're going to be using for the remaining 4. So let's just push it. So I'm going to get a KPI card. I'm going to reduce it. And drag it in. So we're just going to get our total sales for 2013, right? So we're going to put that in here. Let's go format this visual. We're going to turn off the category label and make this words like 15. Okay, let's increase that. Okay, 19 is not bad. Then the next thing we're going to do is to come to general and make it transparent. So it fits right inside this hole. Just going to leave this at 20. Okay, so now if you look at this, this is what we have, right? You can see what the total sales. If you add these two things, you can see that this is what we have. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is we want to see the total profit in 2013. We're just going to come here and we're going to get the total profit in 2013. Now we can see what 2013 total profit looks like. We're going to come here and also copy and paste this into 4 parts just to make the work easier for you, so you don't go creating new cards. All right, now that has been done, we're going to come to this tiny card here and get our total profit for 2013. 13. Now we've seen our total profit. Also have to make this dollar sign, please. Put the dollar sign. Okay. So lastly, what we're going to do here now is to change the title, format the title from sales to profits. So now we are seeing the profit by quarter, the 2013 profit by quarter. Okay. So we're going to just go on to the next one. Now we want to see 2014 sales. So let's go get 2014 sales by quarter. So this is what our sales looks like. So let's just format these colors first. Let's get something close to like ash, like gray. Let's put this gray. And for this, let us use this blue. Okay, so now we've done this. The next thing we want to do is format the title. Let's put 2014 sales by quarter, so you don't forget that. All right, so the next thing is to what? Format this inner card here, or rather put the right value for the inner card. So we're putting the sales for 2014 in here. As you can see, it is 92 million. So we're done with this particular one. The next thing is to come here, get the total profit for 2014. Put that down here, close 2013. So let's go format the slices. And this is what we have. The next thing we're going to do, format the title. Just make sure you put 2014 profits by quarter. Okay, there we have it. The next thing we want to do is to come here and put the profit for 2014, which we have calculated. Okay, so guys, congratulations, we've been able to do this. Now we can see and we can get insights from just these tiny values. Aside from your work looking beautiful, it also needs to make sense. There should be an insight that the stakeholder is deriving from the visualization. So now we want to see our sales by country, our sales by segment, our sales by discount band. We want to see all of these things. So for that, we're just going to get a column chart here. Let's bring this down here. So this has to align. Your visuals always have to align. But before the chart, let me just remove this. Before the chart, let me come here and copy this and bring it down here. A column chart. I'm just going to drag that in here and fit it in. The next thing we want to do is to get our country and our total sales. So now we can see our sales by country. All right, so let us quickly format this. So we're going to see a lot of space to do what we want to do. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to turn off the x-axis. I'm going to turn off the title because we don't need that. I'm also coming to the y-axis, and I'm going to turn off the title and the total sales. The next thing I'm going to do is to come to the column and format the color. Let's use our color. Okay. And I'm just going to turn on the data labels right here. Okay. So lastly, we're going to come here. We're going to make this transparent. It doesn't really matter because you're not going to know. Then we're also going to come to the title and we're just going to write sales by country. We're going to increase this a bit and put this in the middle. So there's also one thing I want to do. As you can see, United States of America, it's like too long, okay? So one thing we can do is go to your transform data. Come to your country, click on the country, you would see replace value. If you come to transform, you will see replace value right here, okay? If you also right click on your mouse, you would also see replace value. So just click on any one you want. And the value I want to find is United States of America. The writing must be the same way it is written. You're going to put the capital letter the same place. You're going to put every single thing the same way it is for this to work. Then what do you want to replace it with? I want to replace it with USA. Simple and short. Okay. Now you can see all my United States of America has been replaced with USA. So it's not going to make that column too long anymore. Okay, let's go to home, close and apply. Now we can see our column is just simply USA, simple and short. So the next thing we want to do now is we want to see our sales by segment. So I'm just going to copy this visual over here. We want to see our sales by segments. I'm just going to come here. I already have my countries. I'm going to be changing this country to segments, and we're still going to be using our total sales for these visuals. So I'm just going to drag my segment here and turn off my country. So we can see what everybody got. I'm also going to go reduce the name of this government, all right, the same way I reduced that of USA. So you can do that as well. So the next thing I'm going to do is just change the title to sales by segment, no, not country anymore. All right, so the next thing we're looking for is that we want to know the sales by product. We want to know how much each product is raking in when it comes to sales. So I'm just going to come here and I'm going to leave my total sales because we need this, but I'm going to go to product and drag it here. We don't need country anymore, so I'm going to remove this. And we can see our sales by products. So let me just make this. So now we can see our sales by product, right? So the next thing we're going to do is to format this particular title and leave it at what? Sales by products. So the last thing we're looking at here is sales by discount band. As you can see, we have quite a number. We had 4 discount bands. So we want to know how much each discount band took, from our pockets. So rather than using sales, we're just going to use the total discount. We already have a measure for that. So we're just going to bring that in here and take away sales. So this is our discount by discount band. Let's go format this particular one and write discount by discount band. All right, so this is what we have. So we're just going to go to the third and final line. Now we want to see the trend. We want to see our total sales by month. Okay, so for that, we're just going to get another, we're just going to come here. Let me copy and paste this. Just bring it down. You can see everything is aligning. So we're just going to drag this and leave it down here. So this is how it's going to be. The next thing we want to do now is to go get a chart. So I'm just going to get a line chart. Let's get either a line chart or an area chart. We're going to decide which one we want. So we're going to get a line chart. Just going to adjust that. All right, so the next thing we want to do now is we want to see the months. So guys, now that we've plotted our total sales by month name, can you see what we are seeing? October, December, November, September, July, June. Can you see how scattered this is? It just went from the highest to the lowest, basically. So it is not arranged in chronological order. Now, this is happening because of our dates here, which is the month name, the quarter, the year, and the way we can work on all those things. These things were not sorted by column. That is the issue. It was not sorted by column. So in order to get around all these things and get a solution, we just come to transform data here. We need several columns to solve or to sort other columns, right? So we're just going to go to our date table. We're going to come back to date. Please go to add column. We're going to come back to date here, and we're going to go to year and start of year. So now we're going to use our start of year, our start of year to sort our year column. So everything aligns. Now you're going to see what I mean. Let's go back to home and close and apply this. If you've seen my video on how to create a date table, you would understand what I'm saying. And in case you want to see the video, the link is in the description box below. You would also see the link on your right-hand side. Please click there to see how to create a good date table, so you would also know how to sort your columns in order to avoid this kind of drama, because this is always frustrating. So when you just come to your table view, now we need to sort these columns. We're going to sort the year, come to sort by columns, and we're going to sort our year with what? Start of year. Okay, so we're going to sort our month name by month number. We are also going to sort this quarter name that we created by quarter number, although we will not be using it here, by quarter rather. We will not be using it here. Now, we're just going to go back to our report view. So what we are going to do now is, let's close this. We have our total sales. So we're just going to get the year and put in here. And we are also going to get the month name and put in here. So now you can see the insight very well. Can you see how everything has aligned? And we can see when there are highs and when there are low in when sales is high and low within this particular month. But let's format this first of all. So we're just going to go to x-axis. We're going to turn off the title. We're going to go to, I just want this to be black, exactly. So we're going to go to the y-axis and remove only the title because we want the amount to show. Then I'm going to turn off the grid lines. You can leave yours if you want. So the next thing I want to do now is to change the color of the line. So I'm just going to come to color here. and give it our own color. All right, so typically we are almost done. Go back to general and change the name to go with sales trend by month. So we're just going to increase this 16. We're going to align this in the middle. So guys, it's either we have this particular one or we have it in an area chart, which is almost the same thing. So let's just make this area chart part a little bit brighter. Coming to the line, to the shade area. And I'm just going to make it a tad bit transparent. Okay, this is not bad. So which do you prefer? Do you prefer this or the line charts? So whichever one you prefer, you can go ahead with it. You know, I would also even want this line charts. Where is the color? How about we use this color for our line? Yeah, it's not bad. Since we already have this particular color, we can as well put this. So this is what we have now. The next thing we're going to do is to edit interactions so that in fact, what this is called is cross filtering. We want to cross filter all of our visuals so that once we click on one, we can see everything about that particular one. For example, now let me click on USA. I want to see what USA sold by segment. Can you see how everything is coming out? Let me show you how to do that. Just click on any visual, on each visual, come to format, edit interactions, and just do all of that. You're going to come here and start clicking every single one of it, right, to filter, because this is filter, this is highlight, and this is what we were on. So we want to cross filter every single thing. Okay, so that's the same thing we'll do. We'll come back to this next one. We'll do that for all of the columns. And when we are done, we'll go to the third one and do that for all the columns. If you notice, I'm not doing it for line chart because line chart does not have, but you also have to click for line chart and do for all the columns, okay? So I'm going to do for everyone now. All right, guys, so we have done everything. The next thing you will do is just to hit these edit interactions again, and everything goes back to the way it was. We've created a beautiful visualization. That is good. But now, what insights can you get from this visual? What insights are your stakeholders going to get from this particular dashboard? You give your team lead or your manager this dashboard. What is he going to know about it? From it rather. So let's hit USA, for example. What they sold in quarter in 2013 is 5.12 million, and this is their profit. This is their sales in 2014, and this is their profit. You can see the segments that sold the most in US, right? Why is channel partners so small? Why is mid-market small? Why is enterprise? You know, you can see what they sold by segment. You can see the products they sold the most: Pasio, followed by VTT, followed by Velo, right? And you can see that they had a $1.5 million in high discount band, then this in low, and this in medium, and this in low. We can also see the trend. We can see the dip in December when it comes to sales, right? Look at here. They sold 1.5 here. They sold 1.9, and in December they are selling 662,000. So this dip has to be investigated. What happened? Why did we come this low? Okay, and you can see there was this slight increase, then it came down, and increase is just up and down. You can see this, and from September there was like a bit of steady increase up until December. And that is why also this cross filtering is so good, because you just see every single thing. Look at their total sales for their total sales for 2013 and 2014. Look at what it cost them on the goods sold. Look at their total profit, the total discount, and their most sold products, right? So if we look at this, we can see that normally Amarilla sold more than Montana and Carrera, right? But in USA, Montana sold more than Amarilla. So this is a sign that, oh, that the people in USA actually likes this product more than Amarilla, right? So the company can decide in stocking more Montana a lot more, since it has been indicated from the data that a lot of people actually buy Montana a lot more than Amarilla. Now, let's take a look at Canada. In Canada, in USA, you can say that the segment that sold the most is actually small business. So small business is actually doing a lot of numbers in USA. But take a look at Canada. In Canada, we are seeing that government is doing more numbers. So government is they're probably the ones driving the economy. They are making 10.7 million, and small businesses, although trying to catch up, is making 9.1 million. And we can see what these people sold more. This one sold Pasio more, followed by VTT, then Amarilla. So you can see that in Canada, they are selling Amarilla a lot more than Velo. Velo is like the second most sold product in Canada. So now you stock Montana more in US, and when you come to Canada, you do what? You stock your shop more with what? Amarilla, VTT, Pasio, because these are what people are buying a lot more. Now, we can also see the trend of sale. We can see their total sales is 24.89. This is the total profit, this is the discount, and this is their most sold product, right? We can see their sales, a lot of dips and few highs. Okay, so let's go to France. In France, the government seems to be holding the economy a lot more, because this is like 12.1 million, and the small business, which is following, is just 7.4 million. Okay, so we can see this, we can see their sales, we can see the profit, the 2014 sales, the 2014 profits, and we can see the cumulative here, their most sold product. Amarilla is doing really well. You can see that different strategies will be applied, the stocking up the stores in different countries, because the people there all want or all purchase different things. So you just have to tilt towards what the people purchase. Last thing we're going to do for this is, let's just get a slicer so that we can see everything by year. We can see what happened in every year. Okay, so we're just going to get a slicer, and I'm just going to put year in here. So let me quickly format this slicer. I'm just going to do slicer setting. I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it a tile. Okay, so I'm just going to push this. So let's see everything that happened in 2013. We can see that the most sold product in the whole of 2013 is Velo, not Pasio anymore. And you can see the country that made the most sales in 2013 is actually Germany, followed by Canada, then France, then US, and then Mexico. All right, and we can see the sales in 2013. Now, if we want, we can put our week in there and see everything that happened in our week. You can see that October actually sold the most. Now, if we want to see what happened in October, we can just simply click October here. And you can see every single thing has changed in October. You can see that in the month of October, Germany sold the most, followed by France, and and in the month of October, the government was actually the ones, holding it down. Velo sold the most, as you can see here. Let's look at September. Germany also led the fourth, but our most sold product in September was Montana. Can you beat that? Montana was actually the most sold product in September. Let's see what happened in December. VTT sold the most, as you can see, and Canada was the highest selling country, was the country with the most sales in December. Now we can see everything that happened in 2014. USA had the most sold in 2014, followed by Canada, France, Germany, then Mexico. Pasio sold the most, the government did the most, and you can see everything that happened in 2014. You can also start viewing everything by month, to see what happened. Mexico did a lot better than other countries in February. And look at the most sold product in February, VTT, right? And we can say VTT was most sold in Mexico. Can you see? So please always stock up VTT in Mexico. Look at, we had more medium discounts than the high discount band. Look at what we got, what we sold. So let's see what happened in April. You can see US was the country with the most sale. As you can see, this is blank because everything here has to do with 2013. So we're just going to be seeing the 2014 own. Now we can see that small businesses did a lot more in April. You can see Montana sold the most. You can see how cross-filtering would help you gain insights into your work easily. So after your dashboard, always remember to write your insights and recommendations to whatever company it is you'll be working with, or just for in your portfolio project. So there are other aspects of this analysis that we should also consider, which is the sales and the profit analysis, and even the cost of goods sold analysis. So this is what I have in my second and my third page, and also insights. Insights is very, very, very important. So my second page is coming up now, and this is my manufacturing and sales analysis, just basically comparing the sales and the manufacturing price. All right, so after this, I have the profit, and this is my profit and cost on goods sold analysis. Sales, cost on goods sold, and profit analysis. So this is making an in-depth comparison on the goods, on the prices, and just everything you can see here. And then this is the insight and recommendations. So if you want me to show you guys how I got these sales and the profit, and also the recommendation and the insights, how that came about, you can write down in the comment section, and I'm definitely going to do a video about it. But I just wanted to show you people so that you would know that it is not just the dashboard that we have. I mean, dashboard just shows the overview, right? But you also need to dig deep and know what exactly is what, and that is what these other two pages are showing us. Okay, guys, so that's about it. I have shown you. You can also just replicate this. Thank you again for sticking around. Subscribe, like, turn on your post notification, and I'm going to see you in the next video. All right, guys, it's bye for now.